Folks, good morning. Welcome in. It is Mornings at Meridian here on this Tuesday morning, October the 8th, as we approach 9 minutes into the 7 o'clock hour, kicking off the two best hours of local live talk radio here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. And you can be a part of it at 601-485-9191. Once again, that's 485-9191. Of course, online, WALTmeridian.com. You can click that listen live button. Of course, we're on Facebook Live, YouTube. And if you want to listen to the show on the go right there on your smart device, you can always download the WALT mobile app in the App Store or Google Play simply by searching WALT 102.1. And good morning. Glad you're in with us. I am Robin. He's back, Charles Frazier.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine. How about you?
Doing good. And a little bit of a fall feel in the air this morning.
It was nice.
Yeah, we were looking at the weather at the house last night. Of course, my wife being a Floridian, watching, obviously, Milton. And we'll get to more of what's going on with that coming up. But I was telling her, I said, we're in that time of year in Mississippi where it's going to be in the 50s in the morning, and then it'll get up to 80-something in the afternoon.
Put the heat on, put the air on.
So nobody knows how to
heat air. Yeah.
How do I dress?
Right.
So it's going to be that like that for the next several days.
Hey,
but
I love it.
But no mention of rain this week. So get
Not
out
for us. Yeah.
Get out there and enjoy it. So, but obviously, the big story this morning is Hurricane Milton as it continues its trek toward the coast of Florida. And it has brushed a little bit of land and has been downgraded to a Category 4. They are expecting now, as the storm will make landfall sometime tomorrow, probably tomorrow evening at some point, that it might be a Category 3. Now, I know a lot of folks are like, okay, well, that's not as strong as they thought, but this is it's going to be a large storm. It's going to cover a lot of area, and they are still expecting hurricane force winds, even on the other side of Florida over into Orlando.
Sure.
So 12 feet storm surge there in Tampa. So this is still nothing to sneeze at. It's going to be a pretty big one. So.
Well, even, the predictions are great, but nobody predicted what it would have done yesterday, which is go from a tropical storm to a Cat 5.
That quick.
It was like, within like 36 hours, never seen it before. So that was extraordinary that it did that. I mean, the winds were 180 miles an hour yesterday, and the pressure was below 900, which is rates at, I think, number 4 or 5 as far as the strongest hurricanes on record. And so even though they think, it's going to go just be a Category 3, by the way, Katrina, when it hit, I believe was a Cat 3. And so look at the damage that Chi did. And so I think certainly Milton as a 3, if that prediction holds true, then will be very damaging, especially for Tampa Bay, where it's looking to take a direct hit.
Yeah. There was a meteorologist who posted this yesterday in Tampa, and he said this was as of 7 o'clock last night when this sucker was a 5.
Yeah.
He said this sort of astronomical meteorologically describe to you 897 on the pressure.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And
Katrina was 902, I think, at the lowest point. So
with 180 mile per hour max sustained winds and gusts of 225 miles per hour. This is now the second strongest hurricane ever recorded by pressure on this side of the world. The eye is tiny at nearly 3.8 miles wide. The hurricane is nearing the mathematical limit of what Earth's atmosphere can produce. Yes, there is a mathematical limit, and we are nearing that. That was as of last night at 7 o'clock on that one update. Of course, they give the updates a couple of times during the nighttime. And, of course, once it kind of brushed a little bit of land down there, it decreased to a 4. But still, it's going to be a monster. It's going to be a big one.
Definitely. And if it hits Tampa Bay, I think slightly north of Tampa, then it's going to push all of that water into the bay, and storm surge is going to be, 12, 14 feet, something like that as far as predictions go. But, it's really bad. That area of Florida is so congested. It's so populated. And I can just imagine what I-75 is like right now.
They showed some of those interstate camera shots and traffic, of course, at a standstill. Of course, Governor Ron DeSantis, who has been a trooper once again, I mean, just showing great leadership there in Florida, has suspended tolls, obviously, for folks getting out of town there. And, I mean, even escorting gas trucks into Florida as well,
Sure.
getting the highway patrol to get involved in that, because you know how people can be when it comes to stuff like that. So
everybody's gassing up. So
absolutely,
you're gonna empty it all. And one thing that New Orleans used to do was a contraflow. So they would take both sides of the interstate, and if it's going north or out of the city, and they would be just away from the town.
Yeah.
Only, but I don't know if they're going to do that in Florida, because of obviously the peninsula. Some could go south. I mean, I think that would be the unwise decision, because if you go to Miami or point south, and then it comes through and creates the swath of damage that it potentially will, then you're kind of stuck there in the south. I mean, you don't want to drive north through that, and there's obviously limited access. I mean, you've got the ports and everything like that, but as far as the highways, they may or may not be clear to get supplies down south. So I think most would want to go north. Of course, then you've got the issue of going into Georgia. And the panhandle of Florida, where they're still recovering from Helene. We may see some evacuees here. Wouldn't surprise me at all if our hotels start filling up with some of them.
Well, if those folks do come into town, we welcome them with open arms. Definitely. And Meridian's always been a good safe haven for folks in the past, with getting out of the path of storms. And And I agree totally. I think we'll have some folks making their way up here. So, but continue to in your daily prayers lift up those folks. Man, especially folks like Fort Myers and some other ones that just are recovering, or trying to recover from Helene, and now you got this one bearing down on you.
And actually even the Tampa area had some effects from Helene, and they're still recovering from all of that. Especially on the coastal areas. So further inland it wasn't so much, but certainly a lot of heavy surf and things like that had done some damage.
I think it was the mayor of Tampa yesterday, and a lot of folks were like, oh, this is fear mongering on his part. Well, he's trying to do what he can do to get folks out of town and keep them safe. He said, if you stay, you will die. That's basically what he said yesterday, because this storm surge is going to be so bad in Tampa. It's life threatening. I mean, 12 feet is nothing to mess with. So,
but you think 12 feet is just on the coast, but Tampa is all flat. I mean, it's a bay, and so your elevation at any given point throughout the city is probably 1 or 2 feet. And so if you get 12 feet coming in, that's going to go a long way inland. And so the whole city may be inundated. We may have another Katrina, New Orleans situation.
Absolutely.
Of course, that was the lake coming in, but still, it's the flooding is flooding regardless of where it comes from.
Absolutely. 601-485-9191 is our number. A lot of stories to cover this morning. You heard a little tease at the top of the hour during Fox News. Harris is doing this big media blitz, all the friendly interviews. Of course, I thought she was doing Howard Stern yesterday. She's actually doing it today. And then she's got Stephen Colbert tonight. So another late night show. She's got The View. So that's a hard media blitz.
Right.
So,
it's a salad bar.
60 Minutes sat down with her for an interview, and I don't know the gentleman's name who is the interviewer, but he was pretty stern with some of his questions.
Yeah, it was about 59 minutes too long. So anyway.
So we'll get into that coming up. Plus, there was an exchange between our guy Peter Ducey and Karine Jean-Pierre about funding for hurricane victims and money going to Lebanon. So we'll get into that coming up. But we're going to start out locally this morning. Lauderdale County Board of Supervisors.
There we go.
You're in our crosshairs.
Oh boy, we love you.
And JJ just went,
what? It's fine.
Every time we mention the supervisor, I have to mention JJ, because he's told me in the past, he's like, y'all said my name on the radio this morning. I was somewhere and they said, you said my name on the radio. Is everything okay? Everything's fine.
It's all good.
It's all good.
We hope.
So, but article on the top fold of the Meridian Star this morning. County looks for MDA loan to entice new business.
Okay.
All right. Of course, big kudos to Thomas Howard. Does a great job on his articles down there at the Star. The Lauderdale County Board of Supervisors on Monday moved forward with efforts to bring a new business to the area, as they had a public hearing on plans to apply for a Mississippi Industry Incentive Financing Revolving Fund Loan. Let's say that again. Mississippi Industry Incentive Financing Revolving Fund Loan.
Wow. What does that even mean?
Not a fund, but a fund.
Fund.
Yeah.
Fund loan.
Those loans
Revolving.
are administered through the Mississippi Development Authority and are specifically earmarked for incentivizing economic development. According to the notice, the county was required to publish ahead of the hearing. The loan will be used for costs associated with a new business that utilizes hardware, software, technology, infrastructure, and or workforce to stop, manage, or manipulate digital data.
Manipulate digital data.
Yeah, that's the business.
Okay.
Board Attorney Lee Thaggart said Monday's hearing was to allow the public to weigh in on the county's intention to apply for the loan. No funds have been borrowed yet, he said. The loan would be in the amount not to exceed $9 million. Again, we've got up to 2 years to apply for it, and the interest rate to pay it back is 4%. Now, the county, however, may not need to pay back all of the borrowed funds on its own. Thaggart said there's an opportunity for the city of Meridian to partner with the county and help repay the money. I knew I'd get a laugh out of you on that one.
Hey, y'all want some of this action?
I figured you'd laugh on that one.
Yeah. Okay.
I think everybody laughed on that one.
Wow.
Assuming that this is a quote here from Mr. Thaggart, assuming that the county gets it, decides to get it, and the county and the city can join together and pay back that loan using funds that are derived from the project itself. As I flip over to page 3. So, yeah, that's what he said, basically. He said, assuming that the county gets it, decides to get it, and the county and the city can join together and pay back that loan using funds that are derived from the project itself. So there you go. So that's in the works there, Mr. Frazier.
Well, and we have been hearing rumors of this kind of big project for, a few months now.
Yeah.
And so I guess that this may be the final step in that.
Yeah.
We hope so anyway. And, if that will bring a significant business here and start development of that industrial park, then I think that's exactly what we need to do. And $9 million, I mean, it's a lot for you and me, but, for the county, when they put up a $50 million facility, it's, how much was that door again?
I'm getting to that.
Oh, there's more. I've got
an
favorite subject.
I've got an update on the door.
How about garbage fees?
Not so much.
Okay, we'll leave them alone.
So, but just to be clear on this loan here, folks, $9 million is the money, and it is earmarked. It's like an incentivizing program for economic development through the MDA, the Mississippi Development Authority. And once again, they had this hearing. Now, the loan would not exceed $9 million. They've got up to 2 years to apply for, and the interest rate to pay it back is 4%. They have not, done anything with it yet. They're still in the preliminary discussion on this, but I think
the big question from all of this is, if they borrow the $9 million, is that industry, that data center, guaranteed to come? Or is that a hopeful kind of, we think it will incentivize them, but we're not sure? And so, if it's a guarantee and that's the final piece of the puzzle, and then they are definitely coming, that they've signed on the dotted line, they've committed the funds and everything like that, then, of course, I think it's a slam dunk. And, of course, that's something we need to do, because we'd reap that back in tax benefits over the course of the lifespan of that data center, which would hopefully be a long time.
But when I read we have not borrowed the money yet, I don't think the deal has been closed yet with these folks to bring them here yet.
Yeah.
So there's still some discussing going on, but still you have to hold the public hearing, obviously, by law, because they had to do that yesterday. But they haven't borrowed it yet, so that tells me that maybe this is not completely done yet. I could be completely wrong on that.
And what are the terms of the loan? If they borrow it and they don't come, can we just pay it back without penalty, a prepayment? Basically, you hand the $9 million back with obviously a little bit of interest.
Board of Supervisors, call 601-485-9190.
JJ alerts.
Send the signal up.
Right. JJ, we need you.
So that was a big part of the board meeting yesterday, and this was obviously discussed in a previous work session a few days ago as well.
And there may be some information they can't tell us.
Maybe, maybe.
But obviously they've released this information to the paper, to the press. So there is more out there that they could let us know, but maybe not. We don't need to know who or what or the specifics of it, but the specifics of whether that deal, this is the last piece of the puzzle, and then it's a guarantee. I mean, obviously there's no guarantees, but
well, in all confidence with the Board of Supervisors and other sources, we have known about this for several weeks now, but we have
probably longer. Yeah.
And longer. We've just, in confidence and respect for our sources and other folks close to the situation, we just haven't talked about it a lot here on the program because we're one of those shows who likes to respect those sources and not just leak every bit of information here. But we'll see where this goes. I think it's a good first step. And we'll see what happens.
Hopefully, this is the last step.
I hope.
And I think this has been in the works for I think more than probably weeks. I think we've heard rumors of it, little inklings of it for months now. And if this is the final piece of the puzzle, and then as I said, if this brings it here, then obviously it's a slam dunk. And maybe they just need to disclose that that's what they're doing. Because they are borrowing money in the name of the county, which is obviously in the name of the citizens of the county, and so. Hopefully that's the case, but anyway, we'll get more info
before we take. I know we got someone calling up right now. Caller, we're going to get to you here in just a moment, so stick close with us because I got to get to the door. Charles, his favorite pastime, the door at the county complex. In other business, action to change a project, adding a door to the new Lauderdale County Circuit Clerk's office in the new government center is on hold for the next 2 weeks while the county waits for the paperwork to catch up with discussions.
The door paperwork?
The door paperwork.
Okay.
In its Thursday work session, the Board of Supervisors heard from Jim Smith of LPK Architects about changing plans to add a door allowing residents to come into the office, which is a secure place to vote via absentee ballot. Supervisors previously approved a $54,000 change order in August, converting a secure hallway into public access and making use of the Election Commission's office space. That option, however, did not meet the approval of the Election Commission, which was already struggling to find enough space to store and maintain the county's voting equipment. After that change order was approved, the contractor ordered the necessary materials, but was told to hold off on the work while the county further discussed the project. A second option, previously introduced to supervisors in June at a cost of $76,000, repurposes 2 storage closets, but otherwise leaves the Election Commission space alone. Although more than $20,000 more, the second option was favored by both the Election Commission and the Circuit Clerk's office. Smith told the board Thursday if it wants to move forward with the second option, the contractor agreed to lower the price to be the same as the original change order. Much of the work can be done with the same previously ordered materials, he said, which will help cut down the cost. Both the Circuit Clerk and Election Commission have yet to move out of their office spaces at the old courthouse on Constitution Avenue and did not plan to relocate until after the 2024 elections are over. Work on the door will begin as soon as supervisors approve the new plan and is expected to last several weeks. So while the board of supervisors had expected to approve the change Monday, County Administrator Chris Lafferty said some of the necessary paperwork is still outstanding and the matter will need to be the next 21st. So there you go, Mr. Frazier. There's your door update.
Well, okay.
Which is basically nothing.
I know we got a call, but have you been to the county center?
Yeah, it was just there Friday.
Beautiful, huge lobby.
Yes.
Am I right?
Huge.
And isn't there plenty of room to have some sort of the voting booths in the lobby? You were only voting certain times, right? So for instead of having access to that, set up a table, a couple of booths, and that would cost, I don't know, probably nothing. A little labor.
But the saga of the door continues.
It's never ending. And maybe they can't do that. Maybe there's a reason they can't do that. I don't know. But it just seems there's plenty of room where you could cordon off an area and say, this is our voting place. So, absentee voting is conducted here, and give them a little, how much privacy do you have anyway when you're in the office? You don't have much. You're standing in front of somebody checking the boxes.
Right.
I don't know.
Let's go to the phone line. Hey, caller, welcome in.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, sir. I figured we'd get your ears perked up.
Perking?
There's lobbies, and then there was Lob Lolly.
Lob Lolly.
I wanted to mention the money, if the city and the county can collaborate to get the state to do the funding that they're asking for, the $9 million you mentioned.
Yes, sir.
when the Loblolly project happened, and you had a similar type thing in that the county had 10 million and the state matched 10 million. The difference was the county went ahead and got in and spent that 10. However, the county, or the state, excuse me, had agreed to release their side, their $10 million, if and when the project was finalized. That was at the time proof of financing by the company, which did not happen. And the 10 million from the state was protected by that measure. One might think that this could be possible with this project as well, that they could have the 9 million approved and not tap into it until the documents were signed.
Contingent upon that, yeah, that's a great idea, and may be the case. I don't know.
I think that would be a professional way and might ease the minds of some of the taxpayers.
Easing our minds? Have they ever been eased?
Well,
Do you live in Lauderdale County?
There's something that we referred to in the past as the this and that fund.
The this and that fund. That's about right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, something for us to ponder on. We got to get into Fox News. We appreciate you always checking in.
Thank you.
All right. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
Yeah, that would be the smart way and the responsible way.
That's right.
So, but like I said, we'll try to get some more details on it. So, JJ! 601-485-9191. We'll be back. Robert Coolbell from Cool and the Gang, 74 today.
Wow. Okay.
Tell you what, it's a pretty impressive birthday list today here, Mr. Frazier.
Who else we got?
Matt Damon, 54 today.
All right.
Goodwill. They got Goodwill Hunting and Saving Private Ryan on the list
Fair
here,
enough.
which is two
I would have
pretty
gone
good
Born
ones.
Identity, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. Let's see. Paul Hogan, remember him? Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee. That's not a knife.
He
That's a knife.
is 85 today.
Okay, looked about 85 when he did Crocodile Dundee, but all right.
Angus T. Jones is 31. Of course, you remember him. He played the son in 2.5 Men. He is now 31.
Wow. All right.
Sigourney Weaver, remember him from the Alien film series? Yeah, her, yeah. 75 today.
Unless she changed. I mean, she may be who knows these days. Them.
And finally, today should be a national holiday because, well, this guy has a birthday today.
Something?
I was just smiling. I was just browsing.
Oh.
For your wife or your girlfriend?
What? What happened? I guess wouldn't be any. Wouldn't be the Christmas shopping season if the stores were any less harder than they are. Whew, it is warm in here.
Well, you have your coat on.
Yes. Oh, do I? How did that happen?
Because it's cold out.
Yes. It is. It's a bit nipply out. I mean, nippy out. What do I say? Nipple? There is a nip in the air, though.
Chevy Chase turning 81 today. So we had to throw a little Christmas vacation in there, even in October. So Chevy Chase 81. So there you go. Let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller, thanks for holding. Good morning. All right. They'll call back here on the program. So, but yeah, we did get a JJ phone call during the break. And
yes, we did.
We can't share all the details, but we did get some fill in the blank answers. So,
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it makes sense.
Okay.
We will share at a later date. How about that? Oh, come on, Rob, please. No, we gotta be nice. So, but when you send the signal up, people do respond. So.
Well, I think that what we need to do is just say, look, we've got some responsible supervisors, and they are looking out for our best interest.
From what it sounded like, that's exactly what is going on. But a very complex situation, and like I said, they're doing their due diligence, and the process is underway and going on, and has been going on, and they're checking all the proper boxes. We'll just leave it at that.
Right.
So
could be the big one.
It's going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. And it could be a big shot in the arm for Lauderdale County and Meridian and in East Mississippi.
Definitely.
So we'll see what kind of transpires. 601-485-9191 is our number. And let's go ahead and thank one of our advertisers here. Good local folks there at Barber and Sons.
Barber and Sons. So all the pirates go.
Yes.
Of course, 1123 26th Avenue in between 26th and 12th Street, or at 26th and 12th Street. They've been in business for over 80 years.
Wow.
Jeez, I think they invented indoor plumbing. And of course, they got every type of plumbing part available. Every type. You need it, they got it. You know, you don't have to wander around a big box store looking for aisle 47, bin 32. You get the wrong part, you got to bring it back. None of that stuff. You just go there. It's one-stop shopping. If you show the part or even a picture of the part to Gary, he will know exactly how to fix it, and we'll give you detailed instructions on how to do it. It's kind of like a mini plumbing course right there. It's amazing. 601-482-7023 is their number, or go see them at 1123 26th Avenue. It's where all the plumbers go, and there's a reason for that, because they are the plumbing experts here in town. Barber and Sons Plumbing.
Very cool interview over on Fox News right now. Country stars Luke Combs and Eric Church have announced that they will be doing a Hurricane Helene relief concert for folks there who have been affected by the storm. So folks trying to do what they can do to help out. So
next week they can do a Milton one.
So Taylor Swift, where are you at? Anyway, 601
Kansas City.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. We don't care.
See where the priorities are at there. Let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Charles and Rob. Uh-oh.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hold on. Listen, Rob. My earpiece fell out.
That's
anyway, the caller's talking about the LobLaw. Is that not the same facility that Southern Pipe now has?
As far as the warehousing, yeah, I think it is.
I believe that warehousing,
And
yeah.
so it's actually been sold to them, and it's in use.
Well, yeah, it's great use for them, and they've taken up every bit of the space.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I was calling on that was it looks as though something may be going to be built on the lower ground there. I'm not sure. It looked like kind of like surveyed markers or something down in the bottom flatland there. I didn't know if y'all knew anything.
Well, we were just discussing the loan that could potentially be borrowed for a project, and that may be possibility some early steps that they're doing out there. So
that's what promoted this call.
Yeah.
As well, we have what, 4 industrial parks here? Can business not go in those facilities?
It's a good question.
Don't know where and why. Yeah, I mean, there may be some logistical reasons why it needs to be located there. Obviously, if it's a data center, then a lot of power would need to have. So there may be, that they've looked at all the sites that are available and decided on that one being the most viable. I would hope so anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when you're talking about $9 million, that's a lot of ifing. That they really don't pass the ifing test here. But anyway, and another thing, the courthouse door issue. That door issue and the parking should fall back on the architect's expense and not the taxpayers.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem is if the architectural firm presented a design to the supervisors and it was approved, then it would, I guess, fall back on the supervisors as opposed to the architect.
Well,
not to defend them or either way. I'm just saying that's probably the process that was.
That don't pass the smell test either. So, not in my opinion.
Things are stinky.
It's very, very stinky. That should fall back on the architect. That shouldn't fall on the taxpayers. That almost look like an intentional thing to take place. But anyway, that's the reason I was calling.
Okay. Well, we always appreciate you calling in and listening out there.
All right. Thank y'all. Have a great day.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. 601-485-9190. Getting back to the, like you said, there may be a lot of logistical type things. Like I said, with a data center is what it sounds like. I can't imagine the amount of power that would be needed to run something like that. So. So maybe a lot more into that than we know. So let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller, good morning.
Southern Pipe is located on the Handy Hardware building.
Okay.
Not Loblolly. Loblolly is located on the hill just below Lockheed. That would be the gates with the kudzu growing over them.
The gates with the kudzu.
Where they bought French drains and fencing and things without signing the contract. That's a different location.
Okay.
That was my purpose for calling.
The Loblolly expert has spoken.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Right. There we go. So
should have put the courthouse there.
Anyway. Should have put that courthouse there.
The French drains. Whatever. Okay, I don't need it. Yeah.
Well, as far as the door is concerned, they're going to take that back up on the next scheduled meeting on the 21st. So that's another very complex issue. Sounds well, at least sounds like on paper it is. Right, so, but yeah, so they've got those two options that we mentioned that were discussed in the meeting.
Option number 3, voting in the lobby. But anyway,
all the above. I don't know if that's
my
option.
vote.
Yeah.
Where would I vote for that? No, I got to go through the door.
There isn't a door. And folks, remember that too when voting absentee is you still have to go to the old courthouse for this. If you're going to be voting absentee for the November 5th election, they are not moved out of the old courthouse yet. That being Donna Jill's office, and of course the other folks down there to the election commissioners. They're all still down there at the old courthourthouse. So if you go down to the new complex, I'm here to vote absentee. Well, they're going to send you down to the old courthouse.
Turn around, go back up 20 seconds.
So, but so just kind of bear that in mind because that's where this all kind of goes back to is those offices indoors and voting and stuff like that. So, but still a pretty big price tag nonetheless. Either option. What do we mention here? I'm going back to the
70,
article.
80,000, something like
that.
The
first option, which was previously approved back in August, it was $54,891. That was converting a secure hallway into public access and making the use of the election commissioner's office space. That option, however, did not meet the approval of the election commission, which was already struggling to find enough space to store and maintain the voting equipment for the county. Now, the second option, previously introduced back in June, that was a cost of just over $76,000. Repurposes 2 storage closets, but otherwise leaves the election commission space alone. So we'll see where it kind of goes from there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Your favorite
voting in the closet.
Your favorite subject, the door at the complex.
Well, all right.
That's all you got to say on that.
I mean, we talked about it a lot.
It's
a Dutch door.
It's a Dutch door. 601-485-9191 is our number here on Mornings of Meridian. We'd love to hear from you out there this morning. But in case you did not stay up last night, Monday Night Football went the way we kind of thought it was going to go last night. What was it? 26-13 was the final score last night.
Yeah,
Chiefs,
I think Card was injured, so not good for Saints fans.
Well, like he was doing anything to begin with.
Well, he had some good games and then some bad games, but that's all right.
Always been very mediocre.
Yeah.
So 26-13 was that final last night. In case you didn't stay up last night, Saints fall to the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs 5-0.
Yeah,
they're pretty darn good.
Again.
That Mahomes boy is pretty good.
He's all right.
He's pretty good. So
Taylor Swift was there. Was she there? Actually, I don't even know.
I was at an event last night with Lamar, and I get an alert on my phone from Fox News saying Taylor Swift has arrived at the Chiefs game. I was like, so we're stopping the news just for that.
That's the alert. Oh, and there's some hurricane somewhere.
There's only 100.
Taylor Swift's there.
There's only 100 other things going on that are wholly more important than that. So we're going to take a break. When we return, Kamala Harris and 60 Minutes. Ooh, cringeworthy.
That's a long time for Kamala Harris.
Yeah, we'll get to that coming up.
Not the whole 60 minutes.
No.
Good.
Well, you feel like the candidates know this song really well. Detroit.
Yeah.
Spending a lot of time in Michigan.
Yeah. Love it. Love Detroit.
9 minutes away until we get to the 8 o'clock hour. Some Fox News coming up at the top of the hour. And looks like President Biden is set to announce another student loan bailout. Headline in from Fox News. So
no bailout for North Carolina, but the bailout for the student loan.
Yeah, isn't that amazing how that works?
Let's buy some more votes.
Buying votes. There you go. Mm-hmm. Well, we mentioned right before the break, Kamala Harris is doing a media blitz. Well, they're calling it a media blitz. Mm-hmm. It's a friendly media blitz. Yeah. Of course, she's done a couple of podcasts yesterday. She did an interview with 60 Minutes, The View. She's doing Stephen Colbert today, Howard Stern.
Wow.
Of course, as I name all these folks, you kind of catch where I'm going with the...
I don't watch any of them or listen to any of them.
The friendliness of how those interviews are going to go. But 60 Minutes... they weren't so friendly in some of the questions they asked yesterday. Got a piece of audio right here from that interview. Just listen to the question response here between the reporter from 60 Minutes and Kamala Harris. This will make your skin kind of crawl just a little bit. So, but this was from yesterday, courtesy of CBS.
Tell you what your critics and the columnists say.
Okay.
They say that the reason so many voters don't know you is that you have changed your position on so many things. You were against fracking, now you're for it. You supported looser immigration policies, now you're tightening them up. You were for Medicare for all, now you're not. So many that people don't truly know what you believe or what you stand for. And I know you've heard that.
In the last 4 years, I have been Vice President of the United States. And I have been traveling our country. And I have been listening to folks and seeking what is possible in terms of common ground. I believe in building consensus. We are a diverse people, geographically, regionally, in terms of where we are in our backgrounds. And what the American people do want is that we have leaders who can build consensus. Where we can figure out compromise and understand it's not a bad thing, as long as you don't compromise your values, to find common sense solutions. And that has been my approach.
Wow, the non-answer.
Consensus, the word of the day, and compromise. The subword of the day.
Yep.
I mean, I thought he asked a pretty straightforward question right there. Mm-hmm. You flip-flopped on a lot of issues in 3.5 years.
Fracking, immigration, Medicare for all.
I mean, those are pretty straightforward questions. So, but
right.
all about compromise. The diversity, that's another big word that likes to be used a lot. So your reaction to that garbage right
it's
there.
The non-answer is what it is. I mean, she didn't want to address each issue as she should have and said fracking. Well, I've reassessed it or whatever it is. Immigration. Yes, immigration, she doesn't even need to touch that. she needs to stay away.
You lose that one every time.
Every time you even mention the word immigration, which she never did in response, she just said, oh, well, the issues, I would like to compromise. And I grew up in a middle-class family and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's the non-answer. Now, it's a very political move. I mean, every kind of politician does it. Well, not everyone, but a lot of them do. They don't address the question specifically. They talk in these generalities and kind of avoid the awkwardness of being called out on either flip-flopping or whatever the issue may be. And so she did that very well.
Got you another one right here. This is another clip.
Do we have to listen to it?
This has to, well,
Okay.
This has to do with the southern border. There we go.
You recently visited the southern border and embraced President Biden's recent crackdown on asylum seekers. And that crackdown produced an almost immediate and dramatic decrease in the number of border crossings. If that's the right answer now, why didn't your administration take those steps in 2021?
Oh,
The first bill we proposed to Congress was to fix our broken immigration system, knowing that if you want to actually fix it, we need Congress to act. It was not taken up. Fast forward to a moment when a bipartisan group of members of the United States Senate, including one of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, got together, came up with a border security bill. Well, guess what happened? Donald Trump got word that this bill was afoot and could be passed, and he wants to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem. So he told his buddies in Congress, kill the bill, don't let it move forward.
But I've been covering the border for years.
Ooh.
And so I know this is not a problem that started with your administration.
Correct.
But there was an historic flood of undocumented immigrants coming across the border the first 3 years of your administration. As a matter of fact, arrivals quadrupled from the last year of President Trump. Was it a mistake to loosen the immigration policies as much as you did?
It's a long-standing problem. At hand, and one literally, we have been offering solutions.
What I was asking was it a mistake to kind of allow that flood to happen in the first place?
I think the policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting a problem. Okay.
But the numbers did quadruple.
And the numbers
under your
today,
watch.
because of what we have done, we have cut the flow of illegal immigration by half.
Should you
We have
done
cut
that?
the
Should you
flow
have
of
done that?
fentanyl by half, but we need Congress to be able to act to actually fix the problem.
You sounded really bad right there. Really
Well, it
bad.
just made no sense what she said, because she said, "Oh, Congress has to act. We can't do it." And then we did it, and so we've cut it now. And it's like, well, do you need Congress to act? Can you do it alone?
Teacher,
Can you,
teacher, I have a question.
Yeah,
I have a question. Who got rid of the previous administration's border policies by the stroke of a pen?
Yeah, that would be.
You can solve this issue just like that by signing an executive order to shut the border down. You don't need Congress to do that.
Well, they just said that they had done that. She said, "Oh, when we've limited it now, look at what we're doing without Congress."
Why'd you do it now?
Yeah, exactly.
And she still wouldn't answer the question.
And and 4 times the illegal immigrants the year after Trump gets out. I mean,
good. I mean,
so they loosened it.
I will say this: 60 Minutes, bravo on your part.
Right.
And Donald Trump, he declined the interview with 60 Minutes because he's done several of those before, and they've been awful to him. And he was like, "I'm not doing that." But look how they pressed Kamala Harris a little bit on that, because
good journalism.
Good on the reporter right there for asking several times, but they've quadrupled.
It went up 4 times, not like double.
This is a long-standing problem.
Right? No, but it went up 4 times in your first year. Why? Yeah.
Wow.
But now we stopped it. But we have to have Congress stop it. But we stopped it. But
we'll get your thoughts on those. Interesting sound bites from that 60 Minutes interview. And I don't think she's going to get another interview like that anytime today. So
she might be careful about who she chooses.
Exactly. We'll take a break. We'll take more of your phone calls after the Fox News break at 601-485-9191. Stay close. All right, folks, welcome back in. Glad you're making us a part of your Tuesday morning, October the 8th. A little bit of a fall feel in the air this morning, but the highs are going to get up into the 80s once again. So how do I dress?
Yep.
So approaching 10 minutes into the 8 o'clock hour, 601-485-9191 is our number. And before we get to our next phone call, I got a couple more clips I'm going to play here from the 60 Minutes interview.
I thought we're done with that.
Well, I got a couple more here.
All right.
Listen to this question here from the CBS 60 Minutes reporter about was democracy best served by Joe Biden handing you the nomination? Listen to this answer.
Was democracy best served by President Biden stepping down and basically handing you a nomination? You didn't have to go through a primary process. You didn't have to fight off other contenders. That's not really the way our system was intended to work.
President Biden made a decision that I think history is going to show is rare among leaders, which was to put country before self.
Really?
He
And
made the decision.
I am proud to have earned the support of the vast majority of delegates and to have been elected the Democratic nominee
You're not elected.
to
Appointed.
fight in this election over the next month for our democracy.
But I think this truncated process is why people think or say they don't really know who you are.
Look, I've been in this race for 70 days.
Okay.
Look.
You're not elected
Right.
to anything.
Well, I take issue with the first thing you said. President Biden made a decision.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute.
Let's restart that, shall we?
He did not make that decision. That decision was made for him. He was told,
Yeah.
you ain't running.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was all orchestrated. And for her to say that he made the sacrifice and present it that way.
Put himself before country, or
Right.
put the country before himself. rather.
Historic decision.
Got
Yeah.
one more comment
Oh,
here. Here's another clip here about the economy and grocery prices.
There are lots of signs that the American economy is doing very well, better than most countries, I think. But the American people don't seem to be feeling it. Groceries are 25% higher, and people are blaming you and Joe Biden for that. Are they wrong?
We now have historic low unemployment in America among all groups of people. We now have an economy that is thriving by all macroeconomic measures. And to your point, prices are still too high. And I know that, and we need to deal with it, which is why part of my plan, you mentioned groceries. Part of my plan is what we must do to bring down the price of groceries.
How does one bring down the price of groceries?
Once again, deflecting again, is that this administration's fault that prices are where they are right now. So, but that's politicians do that regardless of party. But in that situation, there's a lot of issues that you just, when you're pressed on, you just have no way of wiggling your way into a good answer that's going to save your political platform. And that issue, along with the border, those are just absolutely tough.
Well, and the
ones.
flip-flopping, I mean,
Yeah.
it goes on and on and on. And as you said, kudos to the interviewer, because he asked the tough questions, and then he doubled down and said, wait a minute, you didn't answer the question. What about that?
And a lot of folks are like, oh, stop playing all that audio. But you need to hear this kind of stuff, because there's never any hard questions asked of these candidates, especially with Harris and Waltz. And we need to hear this kind of stuff.
And when the hard questions are asked, then obviously they flip-flop.
Exactly. So let's go back to the phone line. Got folks ringing in. Hey, caller, welcome in.
You know what? That woman needs to run through a grocery store just like everybody else and see how it is.
Amen to that.
That's what she needs to do. She's got means that she don't have to worry about stuff like that. And and all these other politicians and all these other people, they got means. They don't have to worry about grocery prices.
Nope.
And I hope I'll be glad when this election's over with and Trump takes over.
Well, we're going to see what happens. And I tell you what, I heard someone say this last night. They were like, how is this even close right now? But there's other reasons. Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
How can this be so daggone close when this woman's so stupid?
I can't disagree.
This woman is she's dumb and wrong. She's dumb and wrong. Dogs are smarter than her are. She is. Stupid ass.
Wow.
Anyway, that's what they need to do. Joe Biden and all these people need to go to a grocery store and pull the money out of their pocket and see how they feel.
Yeah. Only problem is they got a lot of money in those pockets that have been padded by being in politics for so many years.
Yes. Yeah. But anyway, y'all have a great morning.
All right, appreciate you. There you go.
And God help us all if we don't get what we want.
There you go. Well, all right, my friend, appreciate you.
All right, have a great one.
You too. There we go. Hated to get blood pressure up there this early in the morning.
Yeah, well, you're waking him up.
There you go.
Needs coffee.
Let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller, welcome in.
Hey, good morning, Jim. Who got this morning? I'm just tuning in.
Oh, you got Rob here and Charles Frazier.
All right, Dr. Frazier is in your house. Okay. Hey, listen. You know that they're not gonna press her. It's just amazing to me how I'm just gonna say it. We got some dumb reporters and interviewers. They are the real problem, because when they ask him a question, they allow Harris or whoever to dodge it. They ask her, well, do you think the flood that y'all allowed to come in at the south border, that was a big problem, and she'll go to the left, and he won't even say, wait a minute now, come on now. All those people that was coming, and everyone kept saying that it was fake news, that there was no invasion. How about that? And your administration with John Four-Eyed Pierre coming up there saying that there's no problem at their borders. They kept saying that, and they won't even be pressed on it. So, to be honest with you, Joe Biden and Kamala is just dumb and stupid, and white people, I'm saying it for this reason. If you call her dumb, you're not being racist. You're just being upfront. And I'm tired of hearing that when they get called out, they use that, oh, you being racist. No. If you're in politics and you running for office, hey, you're a free game, okay? We're not going to just denigrate you, but you're a free game. You're in this race. You at the forefront of our politics, so you in here. But they just dodge stuff, man, and never get called out.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And listen, again, I say what I was going to say is that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they're doing their job. But the people that vote for them, you are not doing your job as a free willed person voting for who's going to be best to make this country better, and forget about that. And on my side, on the African-American side, we have really got deep into telling people to shut up and stop telling us that who we should and shouldn't vote for because of the skin color. Listen, I'll be 73 in December. Guys, I remember being black, coming up in Jim Crow and all of that. All we used to say is, oh, if we can just get some black people in office and then this and that, it's going to be better. No, it has not gotten better. It's gotten worse. They're on the take just like everybody else who's on the take. So y'all, they can stop all that black stuff, because I've been through it and it ain't made no difference. At points, sometimes in a lot of places, I'd rather for just a white person to be in charge because they can manage it better. Just like I don't mind it, but I would prefer to have a female server when I go to a restaurant. I'm sorry, I ain't prejudiced, but I just feel better. I like to have a female waitress when I go to a restaurant. That's just my personal feeling.
There we go. I like it. A lot of good takes this morning.
I am not racist.
There we go.
Well, these days you have a lot of. Well, anyway, I won't get into the stories. You don't know what they are, but Hey, you know what? I agree with you, though. I don't care what color skin anybody has or even what gender they are. I mean, if they're the best candidate, then I'm voting for them. Doesn't matter to me one way or the other.
That's right.
It's all about
exactly.
competency and who I think is going to do the best job.
Yes, that's what we need. That's what we need. We need to get back to that because all the old politicians, they was educated in school on certain things, just like being the Secretary of State or Secretary of Defense. You need a military person in the Secretary of Defense. That's my opinion. You really do.
Yeah, no
absolutely.
And a highly qualified one at that. So all this DEI and all that crazy stuff, man, we gotta get rid of
right.
that.
Secretary of Transportation, somebody who knows about transportation, not about being a mayor of
wherever he was a mayor of, and
right, all those positions, of course.
At least have his driving license, right?
Driver's license. That's important. Yeah.
All right, listening in.
All right, appreciate it, my man.
Yeah.
Good
points.
Brought up a lot of really good points right there. So 601-485-9191. Let's go back to line 1 here. Hey, caller, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hey, Miss Ruth.
Man on the street. You know, I've not met you, and I am really looking forward to our meeting. You know, as a matter of fact, why don't tonight? This gentleman is going to be in town that's running for Senate at 5:30 down there at the Copeland Center. Why don't you come down there and see what people have to say? These guys are coming in for this program. But the thing about it is that what you have to remember is that regardless of race or gender, you've got stupidity in human beings, period. And they get into situations, both black and white and other races, where they don't really belong there, and they're still all making the same mistakes. And so it bothers me and I want to know if you really said this, because sometimes what people say is not what you hear. Or did you say that you wanted a white person in these various offices because they were going to be better? I mean, did I misunderstand what you said? Because we've got all of these stupid white people running around, all of these stupid people running around of all races. But I tell you one thing, you know, you really need to just calm down, because women, black or white, are not going to be putting on these aprons and going and cooking and making cookies for you and all of that. That's gone. We're not going back. You're just going to have to accept it. We're not going back.
Well,
Miss Ruth, I'm going to correct you right there. He was talking about servers in a restaurant. He was not talking about
a woman. He said he wanted a woman. What's wrong with the man serving him?
Well,
he has
the
gender bias. It's the gender bias is what I'm dealing with. Not just that. He's the same one who would want the women waiting on him and serving the coffee is the one who wants me in the kitchen with my apron on baking him cookies. And I'm saying that's gone. You just might as well, you know, just go and take your pill or whatever it is you need to take so that you can adjust to all of the various changes that are made. We're not going back to that. Women are not going back.
Well,
so there's no point in you getting upset.
And not to defend it, but, you know, some people they get better along with the other sex, and they find that they connect with them better, and that maybe the service is just better because of that connection.
No, in their head,
it can be something that simple. Let's not read more into this than needs to be
in
read
their
into
head.
it.
They have this image in their head.
How do you know
what
what's
they
in
want
his
women
head?
doing for them?
I don't know.
And that's waiting on them. Men want women to see the thing. I feel so sorry for the men, because what they want for their wives is not what they want for their daughters. So these men who are there wanting you in your apron and you're cooking for them are doing all kinds of things to make sure that their daughters get out here and get something done.
Well,
so you got that dichotomy. It's just what they're in the head or something like that. They want the wives doing one thing, but their daughters, they're going to be pushing them to make sure they get to the top.
I tell you what, Ruth, I know, because I'm in the restaurant business, that there are a lot of people that prefer male waiters, and there's nothing sexual about it. They're not homosexual. They don't want that. It's just a different vibe. And fair enough. There is a difference between I hate to say it, with the genders and the way that they serve. And so some people may have a preference for a female waiter and other people may have a preference for a male waiter. I don't think it has anything to do with gender roles or anybody subjugating another person. Now, you may be right that in certain situations that may be the case, but I think in a lot of cases that's not the case. And it's just what it is.
Let the man on the street tell you what, and sometimes explain to you what he means by that statement.
Okay. Yeah, fair
wanting
enough.
the women instead. Let him
I think it's an individual
and
thing. Everybody has a different reason for
does
it.
he have a name? What is this? What's going on with this guy? Why can't we? A man on the street. What in the world are we hiding behind? What is that all about? I mean, didn't you come here with a name and a family and all of that? What is this
There's
man
a lot
on
of
the street
nicknames
like
that's around. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to give us his name. But
no, there's some. Anyway, man on the street this evening at 5:30. Come to the Copeland Center and listen to this Tykins, who's running for Senate.
Who's running?
Somebody.
Ty Pickens?
Tykins, you know the one who's
he's an impressive young man.
Ty.
Well, he's at the Copeland Center today.
He is.
Today
Well,
at 5:30.
we've actually got Ty who's going to be on our show here very soon. I've got him on our schedule to come on our show for a visit here real soon.
Well, he's going to be at the Copeland Center today at 5:30.
Well, he's an impressive young man.
We've had,
he really is.
Yeah,
So-
we've had.
All right.
Yeah, we've
Have a
had.
nice day, guys.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Well, thanks, Ruth. Okay. Bye. Well, all right.
All right. I feel very enlightened after that. Let's go to line 2 if we dare. Hey, caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
She finally off the air?
Yeah, your turn.
Oh, God, telling you right now, I dare that woman to call in one day and talk about something that's not race related. I dare her. It's always something black and white, and it gets so old. Anyway, good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
It's a beautiful day.
It is.
I'm telling you right now, that woman must wake up pissed off, is all I can say.
Well, Nat, I think in all fairness, that was about gender rather than race. But, either way. But yeah.
That's 1 in a million, buddy.
I got you.
1 in a million. Anyway, I wanted to make a comment. I think that that reporter that was interviewing Kamala.
Yeah.
He's going to have a short career at CBS, isn't he?
I believe so. That's the first time I've heard someone on any of the networks actually ask those type of questions.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding. And of course, he doesn't get an answer. He gets this roundabout BS of anything. And my other lighter side, the next time, this is a suggestion for the Trump campaign, whenever they run an ad, if they show her, they need to play that 3 Dog Night song. Liar! Liar!
Good Lord.
Because she is nothing but a liar, y'all. I mean, anybody that flip-flops on how they stand, if that's not the definition of a liar, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
She oh, man, I'm telling you right now. But
this is going to be the longest month of our lives.
You're not kidding. I tell you right now, you better do some praying. I did see something good the other day on Facebook. It had a picture of Trump right before he got shot, and all of a sudden his hand comes out of the clouds and deflects that bullet.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that one. Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was a pretty good one because that was nothing but divine intervention. I think that's a message from God himself that we need this man in office.
I was going to ask you, Lefty, if you saw the way the Butler rally started on Saturday. I mean, you have to tip your cap to Trump on this one. The way he started the rally in Butler on Saturday, he says, and as I was saying, he turned to the one side and he had the big chart up there, the immigration chart. And I was like, what a brilliant way to start the rally. As I was saying.
Right. This continuation of the last one.
It was great.
I thought that was pretty classy.
Yeah.
That man is obviously fearless. He is just absolutely fearless of what the consequences are that happens to him.
2 assassination attempts and all the court cases and everything else, and he's still plugging right along.
I'm telling you right now, he's got the resolve and the stamina of somebody I have never seen before, and I wish everybody else could see that and appreciate it, because if anybody thinks he's in it for the power and the money, he's got all the money he needs. He got more money than he can spend. I mean, I would like to ask them, what is y'all's definition of a patriot?
Let's see.
What does it take to fill that blank? You know, what is a patriot? What do they have to be or say?
To be on the safe side, I'm going to say the first picture that's going to go next to that definition is probably going to be Mr. Hasenfratz.
And the logo should be "Don't poke the bear."
Don't poke the bear, and don't be a dumb bunny.
Don't poke that bear. I think a grizzly would run screaming like a dog if they were to face off. Yeah, well,
exactly.
Anyway, I'm listening in, and there was something else I wanted to say, but I think once you hit your 60s, you remember it about 15 minutes later.
That's all right. We all slide a Biden every now and then. It happens.
All right, I'm listening, y'all. Have a good one. And I thought those clips y'all ran were well needed for the people that are willing to listen to logic, because she never did answer that one. Why did y'all reverse everything that we had in place?
Exactly.
With a stroke of a pen. So if you can do it with a stroke of a pen, why can't you reverse it with the stroke of a pen? But it's so obvious.
Yeah.
They want all these people in, and one day, hopefully, they'll vote Democrat.
Yeah.
It's just as plain as day. An idiot could see it.
All right, we're going to join.
That's the only reason.
All right, we're going to join Fox News.
Okay, y'all have a good one.
All right, see you.
For it to weaken before it gets to landfall.
All right, thanks for hanging out with us on your Tuesday morning here at 8:35 on Mornings in Meridian. Tell you what, it was a nice chill in the air this morning.
It's very nice. Yes.
When I left the house this morning, it was in the mid-50s, which I was like, hey, I can I can handle that.
Yeah,
So,
I went for a run about 5 o'clock, and it was nice and cool.
Absolutely. Got a caller on the line. We'll get there in just a moment, but we need to thank our good buddy Jeffrey Wilson down at State Farm Insurance. You know, we've talked a lot about insurance here as of late. And folks, if you're looking for a new agent, boy, Jeffrey is at the top of the list. Number one at State Farm.
Going down to the farm. Life is better at the farm. And here's the deal. When you combine your State Farm home and auto insurance, you can save an average, might be more, $889. Not too shabby. I'd like to save $889 right before Christmas.
Right.
Well, when you combine your home and auto with Jeffrey Wilson, you can save today. Give him a call, 601-483-8253. And it is so important that your neighbor, your good neighbor that you know well and that you can go and talk to about all of your insurance needs. And he is there as an advocate for you when anything happens to your home or auto. And that is Jeffrey Wilson to a T. You know, you see him all over town. He's involved in so many different civic groups. He is just a great neighbor. Dare I say it. Always wearing khakis, just a great guy all around. He'll sit down with you once a year, evaluate all your insurance needs, lets you know what you need to add, subtract, all that kind of good stuff. Save you even more money. 601-483-8253. Go see him, 2401 Highway 39 North. You know where he is. He's got that little red Miata out front.
That's right.
Farm on that.
That's right.
He might even let you drive it. No, I probably won't. But anyway, go see him. Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm. He is a good neighbor.
All right, let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller, good morning. Well, okay, we're going to try line 2 here. Let's go to line 2. Hey, caller, welcome in.
Morning, true American patriots.
I say Hasenfratz and Patriot, and I got him out of the cave.
Well, has signal.
I hope you boys got some Russia collusion salad dressing for that word salad I was playing the excerpts out of.
Has the reason I wanted to play all of that is because I want folks to really know what is going on in those, because folks don't watch this stuff.
Yeah. And this is supposed to be the leader. This is the best we got.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's the typical demon cat playbook. That no matter what the question is, deny, defy, and demonize and blame the other side. Never take responsibility. No. That'd be too much like being a damn human being. No. And, you know, that caller that called in, and here it is. Hurricane's fixing to hit Florida. It's going to be a real bad one. And she wants to go down there for the big photo op and all. DeSantis has got this, man. He is a real leader.
Yeah.
He's already got stuff in place. He knows what to do. And the last thing he needs is that intervention down there. So you need to be talking to somebody, call somebody that cares. That, you know, I was thinking the other day, old Ruth calls in all the time. You boys are good about splicing the songs and editing and stuff like that. And when she gets on one of them tirades, you need to play this song. It's an old country classic called Here's a Quarter, Call Someone Who Cares. You know?
Old Travis Tritt.
Here's a quarter, call someone who cares. Someone who might listen and may give a damn about your hating whitey tirade declares. So here's a quarter, call someone who cares.
Wow. Listen to Harry.
Most people are sick of hearing it. You know, you're the problem and always have been the problem. But there again, deny, and demify somebody else. Somebody else is the cause of my problem. Look in the mirror. There's your damn problem. And somebody that would think Harris can stand against world leaders can't even make a coherent statement. Are you people yet that stupid? But they're going to vote the optics, man. They're going to punch the political boxes. That's what's wrong with this country now. We need the very best DEI and diversity candidates. We need the very best, most powerful people to run this country. Because our enemies are powerful and they seek to destroy us, those foreign and domestic enemies that seek to destroy us. Am I worried about the Russians? No, not really. They've had opportunity to destroy us since I was a kid in the 50s. But I'm concerned about the communists in America and the socialists in America that want to turn the most wonderful country God ever created to a third world banana republic. The centralized power of the federal government. That's what started the first Civil War here. Overriding state legislatures and states' rights and unregulated taxation. We're taxed enough already, and they give the American tax. The government doesn't make anything. They don't sell a product. They steal from you. And they take your money and give to the most worthless garbage on earth. Why are we giving money to these countries that hate us? That's Americans' money. Why are we giving money to the illegal, alien, criminal invaders? We can't help the American veterans between the heart medication and food, but we can help some worthless piece of garbage that's done nothing for this country and never will. Am I the only one that sees this?
We're both shaking our heads and amening right along with you.
And here it is. All of you people always this kind of say, nobody declared. God didn't declare the United States as the ultimate Walmart for the world. This country belongs to us. This is our piece of dirt. And we need to defend it, and the people need to vote to take it back and put it on the right course. A woke socialism and communism is not the right course. It is a poison that will destroy the body and the heart of liberty and freedom.
There we go.
Get rid of it.
As we're getting that elastic sound on your phone there, so we're going.
And I hope God blesses America. And anybody that votes Democrat, you need to check your damn self into an asylum. Roger that.
All right. Asylums. All right.
He was pretty clear about that one.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're doing good until the elastic came back in the phone right there. So 601-485-9191. Let's go back to the phone line. Appreciate all these calls this morning. Hey, caller, welcome in.
Yes, it's true. The thing about it is we're sort of like Meridian in terms of Mississippi. We're like number 7 or 8 at one time when we were number 1 and all of that. The thing about it, of course, is that, and when people are considering coming to do something here, you get up to a point and then they start listening to people and hearing people like Has, and they go in a different direction. We're not going back to that time either. Whatever people can rant and rave and go on and do whatever it is they want to do, but he lived in Laura or Hattiesburg or some of these towns that are going in various directions. They would have put him out of those cities along. He could not get on any station in those towns and start ranting all of this. Now he has good things to say. I mean, I am a positive person, but I want to make my particular position clear. I am not a racist. I don't feel blamed. Well, you know, I'm not a racist. Okay, I'm very liberal. And I'm not blaming anybody for anything. I just call it the way I see it, which is like I said before. The race issue is an emotional one, and what somebody is saying is not always what the other people are hearing. And because I can tell by what they're saying is that they have not understood what I have had to say. And maybe what we need, of course, if he said nobody cares, although somebody does care because people do call and want to know what was Ruth and that kind of thing, he's not aware of that. But the thing about it is that you've got to have these two sides, and people have to listen. Sometimes you haven't heard, I haven't said what you thought you heard. And you don't, since we don't chat and get a chance to talk and all of that, you don't really know, all right, what I said and what you heard is so different from what actually happened. And it happens all the time to me. But the thing about it is, like I said before, until you can accept Has, he has to speak, he needs to speak. and he has good things to say, but about 90% of what he has to say is pure racist nonsense. And like I said before, he would not be allowed to be on these radio stations in some of these other towns that are more progressive than we are. Have a nice day, guys.
Wow,
what did he say that was racist?
I don't really know.
I mean, I think he called Ruth out.
Wouldn't allow
and suggested that she was a racist, but I don't know that he did say that the Democrats should be locked up in an asylum. And that may be a little extreme, but that's obviously his opinion.
And by the way,
people are entitled there.
And by the way, we take his phone call, take her phone calls, take everybody's phone calls,
as long as they keep it clean.
Yeah. So I think we're pretty fair about that. And I took 2 of Ruth's calls this morning.
Yeah, I would say that Has is just very conservative and very traditional as far as but I don't think that there's any racial overtones or anything like that. I mean, I think that he does mention that we have a crime issue within our African-American community. And I think that that's a tragic issue that needs to be addressed. And I think that a lot of times we sweep that under the rug because we don't want to get involved in a discussion of race. And however, that is something that we need to address. But beyond that, I don't know that that's not even racist, though. That's unfortunately a fact that, we have a higher crime rate here in the city with that community. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe am I misreading something?
No, I'm reading the same book you are. So
all right,
just too many chapters. Sometimes I just don't like reading a whole lot.
True. So footnotes that get me. But anyway,
exactly.
Okay.
Let's go back to the phone line, shall we?
Do it.
Hey, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
There's a voice of reason.
Are you serious? Reason? You know who this is. What's up?
Well, I'm just calling to say, I think the comment was Ruth always puts everything in black and white. No matter what it is, it's always classified black or white. And that's the problem that we have in this country. There's some people want to say, was he black or is he white? And it was a human being. It was a fellow American. It was a fellow citizen of Meridian, whatever. But it's, some people want to classify everything black or white. And Ruth is one of those people. And I know her personally. I know her from the radio. I've talked to her. And that's just the way it always is she'll be talking about somebody and say, well, this black person or this white person. Why can't we just be a person, Ruth? That's just what I don't understand. And that's until we quit classifying people that way, it's just going to perpetuate. I mean, do you agree?
Yeah. I mean,
well, I do if we're classifying. Now, if we're describing somebody, it's like saying, the guy with blonde hair, baseball cap, the color of the skin is a description as well. And I think that that's a harmless classification or description. But if we're putting people in a derogatory way, saying, "Oh, it was that white guy," or "Oh, it was that black guy that did that," you know what I mean? And there's another kind of connotation with it. But once again, that's interpretive. I mean, we talked about that earlier. What do people mean by that, and how do we assume that there's a certain message behind those descriptions? But a lot of times there isn't. So
I was walking down the road yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy walked up to me and started talking, and we talked about how beautiful the blue sky was, and talked about what a nice day it was. And we said our farewells and went on. Okay, was he black or was he white?
Who cares?
Who cares?
What difference does it make? But that's what's happening, and what I see is the problem is everybody wants to classify when it's completely irrelevant to the situation.
It may or may not be, because if you say, "Hey, did you see that guy I was talking to?" and somebody says, "Which guy?" and you said, "Yeah, the black guy that we just had a nice conversation with," then it's an innocuous description, right?
Right.
Okay,
correct.
and that's my point with saying that can be a way of describing somebody without any connotation that's negative or positive.
Sure,
it's just that's the fact. Like saying the guy with the blonde hair, the mohawk, whatever it is, with the ugly shirt.
No
offense to Rob.
Why does it always have to go that way? The guy with hair. That's offensive to me.
I know. I'm a little offended by that.
I'll get
too.
over it. I'll get over it. I'll be
Yeah,
fine.
the big bald spot.
I'll be
That
fine.
was him. Yeah.
I'll be fine. I will be fine. You offended
All
me, but
right.
I'll be fine.
Excellent. Tried to offend you at least once a day. That's my goal. Finally did it. It's almost the end of the show.
Yeah. Well. Hey, I do have one real serious question.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Do I
I'm
need
ready.
to keep Toby on standby for Friday?
No.
Okay, we're gonna go with no.
I did text with Mr. Burke, and he will be here the rest of the week, starting tomorrow.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
A hurricane got in the way. Nice one, Roger.
Yeah. There we go.
That was the last correspondence
I ain't letting go of Toby yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll say this: it wouldn't hurt.
Are you gonna have a best man or a best dog? Or both?
Well, the honorary both.
Okay.
The honorary best man is Has and Buddy.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
So, hey, what more could you ask for?
I don't know. I really don't know what more we could ask for.
And by the way,
oh my goodness!
And by the way, ask and he shall receive, because
Right.
someone just walked in the
I
studio.
was thinking
here.
more like speak of the devil and
Mr. Burke has arrived.
He has.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, he's about to speak to you.
I think so.
On standby.
On standby.
Toby on standby.
Well, I mean, you disappear for weeks at a time.
Who knows where he goes? I think it's locked
Nor
up. I'm not sure.
can I tell you. However, I told you we're going to have we're supposed to have a wedding here on this
On
radio show
Friday.
on Friday the 11th. Is that right?
That's right. This Friday.
That's it. Like 3 days from now.
Yeah,
and
well.
I've been like pacing the floor, like, what are we going to do?
Pacing the floor.
Pacing.
but
I've
Toby
known you.
said he
I've
would
known
step
you a
in.
lot of years. I've never seen you as a person who would be a floor
pacing.
pacer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I can't even conceive of the fact that you would be that way.
I think
so.
Buddy was probably pacing.
Maybe
But,
so.
yeah, I don't looking for a treat. Yeah.
No, but I'll let you know. I'm down. Well, Friday's on. I should ask. Actually, I guess I had the same question. Is Friday still on?
Friday's still on.
Or has Ann?
We need to ask Ann.
Or
Right.
has
That's
Ann
it.
wised up since I've been gone?
We've been telling her. I mean, shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, Friday's still on.
Okay.
And, I'm just looking here in love, honor, and obey in her commitment.
Well,
You got to have the same commitment.
you just have to realize that's going to be asked
It's
you
a
too.
two-way street. Right. Wait a minute. Let me reassess. Hold on. It's not part of the agreement.
And when I say sickness and health, the sickness doesn't necessarily refer to physical or mental. It's just both.
Most
It's all,
of
it's all encompassing.
Yeah,
It's all encompassing.
yeah, we can handle all that.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's really good. I just stopped in because I heard that if I at least showed up for 5 minutes, I'd still get paid. So
Wow.
That's not true.
yeah. It's not true. No.
Free coffee.
Oh,
Free coffee.
I'll go get the coffee.
All right, then start making it. It'll be ready in an hour.
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't have a dog in that hunt, but I do say that the show starts at 7:08, not 8:48.
Oh, you're like a friend of mine.
That's fair.
Anyway.
Yeah, he's like, watch it. I'm gonna get in there right in front of Glenn back. Let Glenn beat me out.
Right.
I said, yeah, I was here.
We'll buy him a drink out of the machine.
I don't
So
know.
we're set for what? Was it 8:30 Friday?
Yeah, is that what time we're going to do it? Saying 8:30 or 8 on Friday?
I thought we said 8.
8. Yeah, we'll do it 8. Yeah,
We'll
8
do it
o'clock. You'll do it 8 o'clock. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't handle it. I just told her I could book it and, find when we're going to get married.
Now, all I'm doing, all we're doing here is we're just having the wedding. I'm not providing a cake. I'm not doing the champagne. I'm not doing any of that.
That was
none
my-
of that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm
What?
just,
That was my breakfast plans for Friday. At least get a fruit tray.
I heard that you sponsored catering at Wadman.
is that?
Yeah, that's
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I'll leave that with our other co-host.
That he said you sprung for it.
Sprung.
That would mean that you
Yeah.
would be, actually paying for the catering.
Yeah.
Admins, which I'm all
I got girls all excited.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Right. That check. Right.
Anyway, so no, it's folks, it's going to be kind of fun. It'll be the first time ever that I can think of that we've had a wedding.
Yeah,
here on the show,
and a dog in the station.
Yep. Wait a minute, is Buddy coming?
He's the best man. Well, best dog.
But yeah, I mean,
How can he know?
So you have to talk to the management about that.
You better be sure he does his business
It's a
right.
service dog. You know, it's one of those service dogs. One of them service dogs.
Well, he can provide a good service at the garden.
The back door.
he's got more than 80% of the people on the planet. I mean,
Higher percentage than that. Probably right on that.
Yeah, Buddy, here's your service. You guard this back door here. Anyway, all right. Well, I was driving up and I heard the conversation.
Yeah,
So I thought I would just kind
there
of
we go.
Crash the show.
Insert myself here.
Yeah. All right, Zane, we got to run right on top of this break here.
you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. We'll see you Friday.
See you Friday. All right, well, there
Hey,
you
buddy.
go. Him.
And maybe.
Yeah.
We hope she
That'd be
comes.
kinda good.
That'd be-
Before we get out of here, I think we need to think, what, one more advertising?
8 glass. Adam. 217 22nd Avenue, also known as Newark Parkway, just 2 doors down from the Meridian Children's Museum. That is where you will find the #1 glass replacement company here in town. They have been for 10 years, or probably more than 10 years at this point. Give them a call, 61693 glass. That number is kind of easy to remember. They will repair your windshield or replace it. Work with your insurance company. They're fast, friendly, efficient. And all you got to do is remember one more, and that's Adam. They're all named Adam over there. Is that true? Probably not, but you know, that's right. They have other techs as well that have different names, although they might change them all. Anyway, whatever. 601 693 glass. They are open 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, 217 22nd Avenue, just 2 doors down from the Meridian Children's Museum. Go see them, A&A glass.
Very good. So, well, we got everybody paid off now.
We do.
Yeah,
The lights are on.
there we go. Lights can
We all
continue
like it.
operational. So Mr. Burke is back. That means he will
Burke is back.
He'll be here tomorrow.
Right.
So I can,
Oh,
so I,
I-
so I can
so
move
you
back to my original seat. and sit.
I presumed I still have a position.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like the standing thing. I have to sit down and know how to sit down from time to time.
It's much more comfortable sitting.
But no,
I prefer sitting.
but you would agree with me that to do that job back there, you really have to be a stand.
You have to. You
Yeah.
got to do that. But when we get a phone call, I'll just kind of plop down a little bit.
He does
So-
flop.
I heard the
Flop.
good clips, the good Kamala Harris 60 minutes. I was
Were
listening
they
to that.
good? You
Well-
didn't hear the one we heard.
Well, I heard the good presentation of those. How's that?
Fair enough.
Well, good thing
Yeah.
you got back from Florida when you did, because
Oh, yeah.
Milton is bearing down tomorrow. So,
We flew down there on the heels of one hurricane and came back just ahead of the
They
second
probably don't
hurricane.
want you to come back down there now.
Our
Like,
timing
you
is,
just stay away, right?
and we can talk about some of that tomorrow.
yeah,
definitely.
absolutely. So, well, folks, that's going to wrap up the show. Glenn Beck is on the way next, of course, followed by Clay and Buck, and then, of course, the angry Sean Hannity, too. He knows martial arts.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then, you know, who's at 5? My man, Joe Pags. So, well, the team will be back together tomorrow. How about that? We'll do it. We'll do it again tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So, folks, have a good rest of your day. And what do we always say?
Bye, local.
You'd be happy if you could just